Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with another great Dark Beyond card review, and we have the remainder of the Mage cards to review, including like almost infinite value, like so much discovered random. It's gonna drive me up the absolute wall, as it always does, and also more elemental support. We have a new elemental, some fire stuff going on. Mage is going to be, yes, as I have already said, very fire. Sorry for the cringe. And if you want to win these cards, we have our giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders, 2 mega bundles out of my pocket to enter the giveaway. Like and comment in the video, link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed, I will add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. And well, let's start off with another elemental coming to Mage. Blasteroid, a 3-mana 3/4 elemental, so not too bad. Premium stats. You got the tribe. It has Battle Cry. Shuffle 5 random fire spells into your deck. They cost 2 less. So you get a bunch of value, bunch of mana cheat on that. That's like 10 minus 10 mana across the 5 spells, maybe, unless they're like 1 or 0 mana. I guess you don't get the mana cheat, but still, that's something to not, be entirely sad about. We looked at that 3-drop in the prior video, that if it hits one of those fire spells or an elemental, you will just draw that rather than, blow it up, which is quite nice. But overall, you're just getting 5 random spells. I guess maybe the payoff will be good enough that you'll want that and just get some good stuff, and you have enough card draw, hopefully, to make that work, because overall, you are, adding to your deck and making it harder to get to the cards you really want to get to. But random fire spells on average are usually pretty good. And this is across any class. It could be mage, fire spells, warlock, whatever class has access to fire, you can hit, right? So it's not discover in that regard. But typically these type of cards you don't really want to play. They're usually like, again, you just want to get to the good stuff, and you might not get good stuff with this. You might be just drawing a brick here or there, rather than normally you're just drawing cards from your deck that you plan to put there. But it certainly has a possibility with that elemental tribe and with the fire spell damage stuff going on. Yeah, maybe you want to take advantage of that using these cards too. So I'm gonna give it a 3. It's a premium statted elemental. It's just, do I want to add this to my deck? I'm not entirely sure until we play with the damn card. It's really hard to evaluate without knowing that, but I could easily see it not being good enough, that it's just more of a downside than an upside at the end of the day. But yeah, we'll give it a 3. In Wild, though, it's like, I draw all those, I can complete my quest page, but thankfully quest page has been nerfed and you only get 1 extra turn because some of these other cards would just make quest page so ridiculously easy to complete. We'll give it a 2 in Wild, where I'm not sold on Elemental Mage being a thing. And well, speaking of fire spells, we have yet another one for Mage. The Spontaneous Combustion. 2-mana fire spell, you deal 4 damage to a random enemy. It's literally flamethrower, right? Wasn't that exactly what it did? No, that was enemy minion. It couldn't go face. This can go face. If you played an elemental last turn, you get to choose the target. So it's like 2-mana targeted soulfire that doesn't discard a card. That's pretty solid, right? Nice and flexible. And if you're playing elemental mage, you want to play these fire spells or buff this up with your fire elemental legendary, right? Like, that all goes together. It's quite nice, and this could just be additional burn to go face, and there's a lot of that going on. Seems pretty good, but again, strictly in elemental decks. I don't think you want this to go random. I think you really want to be able to target with this. Otherwise, you can pick it in arena and feel okay about it, and maybe there's upside it to being random, where I could hit a stealth minion, because back in the day, I used to play Flame Cannon in my Tempo Mage deck solely to hit Shade of Naxxramas. It was like game winning against Druids back in the day, and this only can do that if it's at a random. So there is a bit of that upside, but overall, I'm gonna give it a 4 to 5 in standard. I think Elemental Mage is gonna be legit. Like, again, it's super close right now. Like, you can hit Legend with like an Elemental Mage deck right now. It's getting a lot of good stuff to go with it. So yeah, look out for that. And Wild, again, we'll give it a 2. Not sold on Elemental Mage, and would be shocked if that happens. Next, we have a new spell, but it's not of the fire variety. In Pocket Dimension, this is a 4-mana arcane spell. Discover a spell, repeat until you see one for the second time. So when you discover a spell, you get 3 options, right? You will then get another option, and if you happen to see a spell you saw before, that's it. But at the very least, I'm getting 4 mana, discover 2 spells. It could be 3, it could be 4, it could be, well, I'm sure there's a limit. There's only so many combinations you can see. But regardless, that could be a ton of value or just a medium amount. But I mean, 4 mana, get 2 spells is basically good. And anything on top of that is pretty nuts. But again, so many decks have the issue of I have too many cards and I have literally no idea what this would go into right now, right? Like we have big spell mage, we're gonna have elemental mage. What does this really go into current Hearthstone? I don't see it. I guess in Wild you can fuel your row math, but overall, yeah, I don't really see that happening. So as a result, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard, a 1 in Wild, where I know you could like complete your quests almost kind of with this maybe, but that's not a thing anymore, really. Without playing multiple turns, it hasn't really been the flavor. And a really good arena pick as always. Value, discover, random. This could be really darn nice in the arena. And then lastly, we have like what could potentially be infinite value kind of. It's a throwback to a card we've seen before. We have Exar Huru. It is a 5 mana, 5/5 Draenei. So we got all that other Draenei stuff going on in Mage where this could like refresh, right? You can refresh 5 mana, plague this. And it comes with Battle Cry. Discover a spell and reduce its cost by 1. If you play it this turn, repeat this effect. So very similar to Instructor Fireheart back in the day where, yeah, as long as you keep spamming those spells, you keep getting more, can keep playing them. And again, right, with this Draenei, if you refresh that 5 mana, you have like your full mana to play whatever spells you get, which do have mana cheat, right? It's -1. If you hit a 1 mana spell, it's just free. You can just pick that and play it for free and just do a ton of damage or get a ton of value and do some good stuff. Like Fireheart was insane in Shaman back in the day, and I don't believe she came with like mana cheat built in. Did she? I'm not sure, but regardless, this seems very strong. You can just throw this into like most decks. Again, it is 5, so there is a thing like, do I really need to refresh? Maybe. But it could just be one of those like YOLO miracle bombs that you just play in your deck to just try and restabilize, get value, get at that board clear you need, get some stabilization. Reno decks can use this. If you're playing Reno Mage without payoff, I could still see that, but Big Spell Mage might want to play this too, even like it's just solid, right? And the Draenei Mage, if that comes together, could absolutely use this too. So I'm giving this a 3 out of 5. I'm not sold on it being insane, busted, crazy, or anything like that, but I feel like I could slot into it just a bunch of decks because there's not a ton of build around required. And yeah, if you do put it with the Draenei package, you can really boost this, get some really like crazy utilization out of it if you have like full mana to play these spells. That could be like a win condition and stuff. You know, I'll bump it up to a 4. I feel like it could be crazy in Draenei Mage and could be like okay in other decks. Like that's how strong I think this could be. And in Wild, it's too slow, and the spell pool could be crazy, although getting ice blocks and stuff could be annoying as always. But yeah, we'll get it to in that format. Exarch also comes with just an amazing signature as well. Again, they cost a fortune, but my god, these signatures, they're so good. And yeah, this is one of my favorites of the set. There we go. Those are the Mage cards. Mage feel like it got a really good set. Elementals, Draenei, there's a lot of possibilities here. So yeah, look out for Mage. And we all know Big Spell Mage is doing insanely well as it is. But yeah, that's it for the reviews today. Not a like, it's done really early, but as I mentioned in the prior video, there's some news dropping later today, probably multiple videos. Can't speak about it yet, but stay tuned. We have a lot more to talk about regarding Hearthstone, but not necessarily this expansion. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.